Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. And for today's video, we're having another 2-for-1. The previous showcase video we had featuring two bumblebees. Here we have two figures that share the same mold. The famous, what we call in Transformers community, the Datsun brothers, right? The old Datsun mold, the old 280Z mold from the original G1 toys. So in Siege, they gave us updated looks of all of them, plus a new character, a Decepticon, who's actually not new. He was made famous mostly in the live action movies. So they gave us a Barricade based off of an old design. If I recall, the original designer of the G1 cartoon, Floro Deary, I believe he had designed a color scheme for a bad guy named Barricade, taking the Datsun mold. So I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure I saw a design featuring the color scheme, right, over the Datsun mold. But yeah, Barricade was mostly he was the Mustang, the police Mustang in the first movie. So they brought him into the modern age of the Generations line, and gave him the Datsun mold, and he's a Decepticon, right? So I'm also showing these two characters because they're the ones that have the most as far as customization, which isn't just more paint than the others, than the smoke screen and the blue streak. I only did some slight paint touch up on those. These guys have the most paint, so I'm just gonna be showing you these guys for now. So let's start with Prowl here. So on Prowl, the first thing that I did is base this look from the Masterpiece figure, the MP17 that came out a few years ago, which was, I'm pretty sure, was homaging the G1 toy and its color scheme. They later came out with a version that homaged the cartoon, but I prefer the homage to the toy, so I did my version of that. So on this figure, originally he came with black thighs that you can probably see right here in the inside of the thighs here on the gaps. So these were black. I painted these silver. His shoulders were also black, and I also painted those silver. Just left this little detail there untouched, as well as the stripes here, the military stripes, I guess. The original one had a sticker. I also painted this part here of the abdomen silver. These little white spots, triangles here on his belt, you could say. So the silver goes all the way around. And this red triangle, that was on the original. This is just paint rub and just from shelf dives. This is just paint that was on the figure that rubbed off. I painted these orange headlights. Well, these are the headlights, but I guess these are like fog lights that represent the fog lights in the original toy. They were orange, so I painted those. Here you can see them around the forearm. On the legs, well, I painted his gun. Also, the gun was white. I painted that silver. the same color as the toy. Here on the legs, the detail on the side of the legs, this was all white, so I just added the silver here and on both sides, right here, this silver detail here, and then here on these panels and these little vents, and then this spot right here. So again, both sides. And then on his feet, or his toes you could say, the tail lights, I painted those in because this was all black, so I painted again like on the toy, the original toy. We had the orange and the red tail lights. And then on his back, on the inside of the doors, I painted these silver. And then there's some detail. Let me show you. There's this detail there up his back that I also painted. The actually this whole thing, this whole core of the body, you could say, was white, so I painted it black and added these little details here. There we go. So I added these details here, these details here. This is paint rub from the hinge, and you can see some of the white poking through. But again, this is not visible in robot mode, so it's okay if it rubs. And on the front I didn't do anything since it's covered up, but up here by his upper chest neck area, I just painted this in flat gray. And let's see if I can get him transformed here. Oh, and his shoulder rockets, well, on the original toy, the shoulder rockets were chrome, but I painted these silver to emulate that. There's nothing too much to the figure in car mode, because everything, most of the detail is for his robot mode. But let's see if I can get him transformed here pretty quick. Let's see. There we go. So again, just details that are shown in car mode are just the front part, these orange lights that I added in, and tail lights. I'm trying to remember if these were painted or not. I'm trying to remember if the wheels were painted or not, and if I painted those. I'm trying to remember if these were all plastic. No, these were painted. These were already painted, I think. I'm gonna have to look up some reference pictures, but I don't remember if the wheels were painted or not. So there's that. No, okay, now I remember. I think what people were complaining is the wheels were the tire portions were transparent, not painted black, like representing actual tires. And let's just put this over there. Okay, and now let's take a look at Barricade. Barricade also had a lot of paint apps on him. So he also came with the same shoulder guns, rockets, but I gave those to one of the other figures. I don't remember which one, if it was Blue Streak or Smoke Screen, because one of those didn't come with them. So I gave those, the ones that came with Barricade, to one of those figures, and I gave Barricade a bigger gun, one of the guns that came with the Astro Train. Astro Train came with a bunch of guns, so I've been spreading those out, and I think it actually fits Barricade quite well. So on this guy, he had like a I want to say like a lavender color scheme on him. You can see some of it on the right here on this hinge. So that was the original color that he had on his arms, thighs, and chest. But I added a metallic color to it. Maybe the camera can pick it up. But it is like a light metallic lavender color. It's not a super like purple or anything like here on the windshield, the back windshield, right? I tried to match something closely to what was originally on the figure, but in metallic. So I painted that portion in this metallic light purple, and then these parts here were painted silver, just to break it up a little bit right here. And then I added the same color as on his face. This was already, right, this is the original color of the face. It's like a copper color, so I added that to his belt here, as well as this detail here on his chest and the triangle. And I also added this gunmetal gray here to the sides here of the figure. And his forearms, you can see here behind the fists, they were in that light lavender color, but I painted them black instead. I think it looks better with the black forearms, and I added this detail in the same copper color. And then some silver here for this detail here on the bicep. So I painted just around on the forearms. I didn't paint down here by where the fists are, because that paint is, if you move the fist around, it's gonna rub off. So I decided to paint in that area. And the fists, I painted the fists in the metallic lavender color, with the back of his hand in a gunmetal. I didn't paint any headlights on him, because just he looks meaner that way. But I did paint this portion underneath of the car in the that copper color. Then as we go to the back of the figure, pretty much you see here that I also painted the back of the doors. And if we lift this up, you can see I painted those details that I also painted on Prowl. So there's gunmetal base, and then this portion here in the middle, that spring or whatever shock, that's silver. And on the back, same. Only this is all gunmetal gray with the silver detail. And you can see here some paint that's coming off. On Prowl, the ratchets, this portion here, they were white. I didn't paint those on him. I just left those white because remember he had the silver thighs. On this guy, I did end up painting this ratchet, this portion of the ratchets on the thighs in that metallic color. So if you twist this thigh, you're gonna see that metallic color hidden in there. Right. And what is this mode here? That's like that looks like a Gerwalk mode, right? On those the Robotech Macross, right? It's like a Gerwalk mode in car mode. And let's just see how he looks in vehicle mode. Oh, and I added this detail here underneath as well. Although you can see some of the paint rub is already, you can see it, how it's sticking there. Because you can see here, this is the metallic lavender color that I used as the base for this whole area. That portion is not painted here on Prowl, right? Underneath the spoiler. And let's just see. Again, there's no detail on him other than that in this underneath in car mode. So it's not really all that visible, but let's transform him anyway. This hook up. Oh, I also painted, now that I remember, because that was why I was having a hard time painting these parts. I also painted this entire portion of his feet in that metallic lavender color. That part, all of this remained unpainted on Prowl. But on this guy, I did paint that. You can see some of that paint scraping off. So how does this go again? This is a disaster. See, this is why I don't transform my figures in my videos, because there's no point. Because most of the detail is for robot mode. But since this is a 2-for-1 special, let's show you guys how these guys look. There we go. This was already on the figure. This they gave them the battle damage look. But anyway, there it is. So like I said, not much detail was added in car mode. You know, if you open the doors, you can see the inside portions, the back side of the doors that were painted, and these parts right here that were painted. And we can give him his big gun that he's borrowing from Astrotrain. So there you go. That's the Siege Dotson Brothers mold with Prowl and Barricade. And yeah, that's pretty much it on this one. Again, I'm probably not gonna show the other guys because again the paints were minimal on them. You can see just the thighs, part of the headlights, you know, the tail lights, and then on the other guy it was just you know, some silver, the green parts. You know, I didn't even do them that much. The red behind the doors. So yeah, these guys don't need a showcase video because I didn't do too much on those. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.